Celebrating the careers of so many outstanding individuals who have dedicated themselves to the students, schools, and the educational community of St. Mary's County Public Schools. My name is Jeff Marr, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's ceremony. We will begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you to our staff, families, and friends who have come together to celebrate. We are joined by others and so many people who have joined us tonight to applaud you all. Please stand as I introduce our special guests. Ms. Kathy Allen, Vice Chair of the Board of Education. Mr. Jim Davis, Member, Board of Ed. Ms. Rita Weaver, Member, Board of Education. And Ms. Mary Washington, Member, Board of Education. And of course, Superintendent Dr. Scott Smith. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Maureen Montgomery. Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Ms. Tammy McCourt. Assistant Superintendent of Supporting Services, Dr. Jeff Walker. And Chief of Staff, Dr. Dale Farrell. And of course, thank you to our many principals, assistant principals, supervisors, and directors who have also joined us. Please stand. Thank you. I would also like to welcome our Retirees Association, and you'll be hearing from them later. Please stop by and see their table in the back. There's Dr. Abel. And I also want to thank Mr. Egan and the staff here at the Dr. James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center for hosting this evening's event. We are streaming tonight's ceremony live on our school system website and are posting it on our YouTube channel. And I want to thank our team in the Department of Strategic Planning and Communications for making that happen and for helping to set up this event tonight. So please give them a round of applause. As well as our students and program here at the Forrest Center in the video production program led by Eric Millam in the back there. So thank you, Eric and the team. Each year, the Board of Education of St. Mary's County honors those who have dedicated their careers to our schools, our system, and our students. For some of our honorees tonight, they're retiring and blissfully entering the next chapter of their lives. For others, they've reached a milestone of service during the 21-22 school year, and we honor those school system employees who have completed their 25th, 30th, 35th, and 40th year of service in St. Mary's County Public Schools. We celebrate those amazing individuals who have built a legacy here in our school system. Though some of our honorees are unable to attend, we're happy for those who could be here, and we sincerely thank all of our dedicated employees for their numerous years of service. Together, our honorees tonight have a combined 2,393 years of service. So, yeah. That is, for those of you who like the math in that is 1,358 years for our retirees and 1,035 for those in their length of service recognition. So to kick off this evening, I invite Dr. Smith to bring some greetings.
Wow. We have had a great couple of weeks. We've seen about 1,200 kids walk across the stage. We've had recognitions at our schools. We only have a handful of days left. And every year, the last really formal gathering where we have to put on our ties, Dr. Abel has his on, I have mine on, is to recognize all of you. And as a group, what a group you are. Almost 3,000 years of service, 3,000 years. That is staggering, especially when you consider that the average length of service in other systems is less than 10 years. We have people hitting 25, 30, 35, and 40 years of service just to St. Mary's County Public Schools. That's amazing. So, Mahatma Gandhi, because you have to have a quote, right? We gotta have a quote. Mahatma Gandhi says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And everyone in this group, you definitely have found yourselves. You have definitely served others for decades. You are a dedicated, relentless, stubborn group. Nothing stood or stands in your way, not even a pandemic. While some retreated to their homes, you showed up and served. Everything from food to transportation to safe and secure learning spaces to flexible and never-ending instruction to social emotional support. You stood with us for the last 2.5 years. And all I can say to that is thank you, and we'll never be able to say thank you enough. Please give yourself a round of applause. For those deciding that retirement is the next step, as Dr. Marr said, blissfully stepping into retirement, it is well earned. You have definitely earned it. If not in the 28 years before the last two, certainly in the last two. So whatever happens next, we wish you sunshine each morning, peace throughout your days, and just a fantastic, fantastic time. But remember, there are some of us who are still here. And boy, we really want you to come back and spend time with us, to maybe visit us, I don't know, sub with us. And although I'm not allowed to talk to you, I believe, for 45 days after retirement, come on back and work for us, retire, rehire. We have how many slots there, Dr. Farrell? We have 25 slots for retire, rehire. It's a pretty good deal. I've known several of you for decades and decades and decades, and Junior, another one, decades, 4 decades. You're a great group. Thank you very much for everything you've done. Please enjoy this evening and enjoy the rest of the summer. For some of you, it'll end and you'll come back, and for others, may it be the eternal summer that you so richly deserve. Thank you very much. Dr. Marr.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. We're going to begin tonight's recognition with our length of service honorees. And to lead these, I'm going to invite Dr. Dale Farrell, Chief of Staff, to the podium, who will lead those recognitions. But also joining us on the stage, if you would, if Dr. Smith and Dr. Montgomery and Ms. McCourt and Dr. Walker would also join us. When you come up to the stage, you're going to come up to my left here and walk across the stage and shake everybody's hands and smile as you walk across the stage. And Ms. Williams will be here in the second row taking your picture. So when you come across, pause, look out, and then we'll give you your certificates and other items after you exit the stage. So, Dr. Farrell.
Now, we didn't practice this. But I have great confidence in the combined wisdom of almost 3,000 years of service. No pressure.
In recognizing each of you, we sincerely appreciate your commitment as employees of St. Mary's County Public Schools. As a symbol of your service, each of our honorees tonight will receive a certificate and a length of service pin in recognizing 25, 30, 35, or 40 years of service to the students of St. Mary's County. I would like to commend and compliment each of our honored employees and sincerely thank you for all you have done and continue to do for our students and our school system. So let's begin with 25 years of service, Cynthia Cease from Spring Ridge Middle School. Congratulations. And then myself, Dale Farrell from the Department of Human Resources. Cindy, I remember us sitting in this building with new teacher orientation 25 years ago, so I'll grab it at the end. Michelle Lowe from Margaret Brent Middle School. Congratulations to you. And Jennifer True from Margaret Brent Middle School. Celebrating 30 years of service, Kelly Hall from the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. Kelly IE. Kevin Makel from Margaret Brent Middle School. Congratulations. And Jacqueline Sickle from Evergreen Elementary School. Congratulations. Celebrating 35 years of service, Karen Anderson from Green Holly Elementary School. Congratulations. Jennifer Gilman from Hollywood Elementary School. Congratulations. Deborah Settle from Town Creek Elementary School. Jeff Weisham from Hollywood Elementary School. And Maureen Weisham from Greenview Knolls Elementary School.
Thought I'd come up at the same time.
And tonight, celebrating 40 years of service for St. Mary's County Public Schools, Robert Jr. Armstrong. We now want to take time to recognize our staff who are retiring. It's an honor to recognize these employees who have served St. Mary's County Public Schools and have now made the decision to retire. That doesn't constitute a contract there. For our retirees present this evening, we will highlight where they began their careers with us and where they conclude their service with us. Retirees, we ask you to come forward when your name is called so we can applaud you and give you a gift as a token of our appreciation for your years of service. Karen and Tenacio Oliver began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1991 as a teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary and concludes her employment as an academic dean at Chesapeake Charter School, serving 31 years. Deborah Bowen began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2000 as an art teacher at Great Mills High School and concludes employment as an art teacher at Great Mills High School, serving 22 years. Joyce Carey began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2005 as a special education teacher at Margaret Brent Middle School and concludes her employment as a special education teacher at Chesapeake Public Charter School, serving 17 years. Kathleen Sandana began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2002 as a kindergarten teacher at Park Hall Elementary and concludes her employment as a pre-kindergarten teacher at Ridge Elementary School, serving 20 years. Rebecca Klein began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2004 as a science teacher at the Alternative Learning Center and concludes her employment as a lead teacher for federal and state compliance and monitoring with the Department of Special Education, serving 18 years. Adam Cropper began his career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in October 1993 as a teacher at the Alternative Learning Center and concludes employment as a social studies teacher at Leonardtown High School, serving 28 years. Karen Ensminger began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1990 as a mathematics teacher at Chopticon High School and concludes her employment as a mathematics teacher at Chopticon High School, serving 32 years. Treva Eversole began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2004 as a special education teacher at Great Mills High School and concludes her employment as a special education teacher at the Dr. James A. Forrest Career and Technology Center, serving 18 years. Kathleen Frenkenberg began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in July 2006 as a school nurse in a split position between George Washington Carver and Oakville Elementary School, and concludes her employment as a school nurse at Oakville Elementary School, serving 16 years. David Gilman began his career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2015 as a fourth grade teacher at Greenview Knolls Elementary School, and concludes his employment as a fourth grade teacher at Greenview Knolls Elementary School, serving 7 years with 30 years total in the state of Maryland. Jennifer Gilman began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1987 as a first grade teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary, and concludes her employment as the principal at Hollywood Elementary School, serving 35 years. Cheryl Godfrey began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2004 as a secretary with the Supporting Services, and concludes her employment as an administrative secretary with the Department of Special Education, serving 18 years. Congratulations. Marie Hankinson began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2006 as an assistant principal at Benjamin Banneker Elementary School, and concludes her employment as a media specialist in a shared position between Evergreen and Park Hall Elementary Schools, serving 16 years. Susan Hausman began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in January 1979 as an English teacher at Spring Ridge Middle School, and concludes her employment as an English teacher at Spring Ridge Middle School, serving 44 years.
We'll call it there was a standing ovation.
Carol Kieber began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1996 as a speech and language pathologist at Green Holly Elementary School, and concludes her employment as a speech and language pathologist in the Department of Special Education, serving 26 years. Kevin Makel began his career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1992 as a math teacher at Spring Ridge Middle School, and concludes his employment as a math teacher at Margaret Brent Middle School, serving 30 years. Giuseppina Mercado began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2000 as a paraeducator at Greenview Knolls Elementary School, and concludes her employment as an ESOL teacher in a shared position with Town Creek, Oakville, Piney Point, Evergreen, Park Hall, and Greenview Knolls Elementary School, serving 17 years. Charisse Milsatich began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1999 as an art teacher in a shared position between Mechanicsville and White Marsh Elementary Schools, and concludes her employment as an art teacher in a shared position between Oakville and Banneker Elementary Schools, serving 23 years. Deborah Mitchell began her career at St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2002 as a fifth grade teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary, and concludes her employment as a reading interventionist at George Washington Carver Elementary, serving 20 years. Dennis Murray began his career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in November 2001 as a paraeducator hall monitor at Great Mills High School, and concludes his employment as a safety and security assistant at Spring Ridge Middle School, serving 21 years. Tammy Ogle began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in March 1990 as a secretary at Green Holly Elementary School, and concludes her employment as a secretary to the principal at Town Creek Elementary School, serving 32 years. Erica Patriani began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1991 as a special education teacher at Chopticon High School, and concludes her employment as a special education teacher at White Marsh Elementary School, serving 30 years. Patricia Schwartz began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2005 as a food service worker at Leonardtown Middle School, and concludes her employment as a food service worker at Margaret Brent Middle School, serving 17 years. Jacqueline Sickle began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1992 as a music teacher in a split position between George Washington Carver and Lexington Park Elementary Schools, and concludes her employment as a music teacher at Evergreen Elementary School, serving 30 years. William Snively began his career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2004 as a science teacher at Spring Ridge Middle School, and concludes his employment as a science teacher at Spring Ridge Middle School, serving 18 years. Kathleen Stiefvater began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1990 as a fifth grade teacher at Benjamin Banneker Elementary School, and concludes her employment as an instructional resource teacher at George Washington Carver Elementary School, serving 32 years. Congratulations. Judith Stokes began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in July 1979 as a special education teacher at Green Holly Elementary, and concludes her employment as a school counselor at Great Mills High School, serving 42 years. Linda Tataval began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1989 as a food service worker at Mechanicsville Elementary School, and concludes her employment as a food service manager at Mechanicsville Elementary School, serving 33 years. Jeff Walker began his career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in July 2015 as the Assistant Superintendent of Supporting Services and concludes his employment as the Assistant Superintendent of Supporting Services, serving 30 years in the state of Maryland. Cheryl White began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 1997 as a third grade teacher at Dinard Elementary School and concludes her employment as a fifth grade teacher at Leonardtown Elementary School, serving 24 years. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our retirees tonight. Who did I miss? All right. Deborah Wilcox began her career with St. Mary's County Public Schools in August 2005 as a food service worker at Great Mills High School and concludes her employment as a food service worker at Spring Ridge Middle School, serving 17 years. Congratulations. Did I get everybody?
Anybody else thinking of retiring? No.
One more time, a big round of applause for all our retirees.
Thank you, Dr. Farrell, and again, congratulations to all of our retirees. I'd now like to welcome to the podium Ms. Kathy Allen, Board Vice Chair, to bring some remarks on behalf of the board. Ms. Allen.
First, let me apologize for Mrs. Bailey. She wishes she could be here, but her daughter graduated from Chopticon on Friday, and she is celebrating with her daughter and some friends, and we wish them all well. I'm going to try to get through this without choking up, but that's going to be difficult for me because there are so many of you who I consider friends, longtime acquaintances, treasured people. June is a month of great excitement. Traditionally, June has been a favorite month for weddings, vacations, and graduations. It is a month of transitions. Today we celebrate milestones of length of service as well as the milestone of retirement for quite a few of our treasured SMCPS staff family. So I had to search for just the right thing to say. How Dr. Smith is well known for his quotes and his poetry. I'm not the poet type. So, you know, I looked through Shel Silverstein, I looked through all kinds of nothing. But who couldn't use a little Fred Rogers? So Fred Rogers once said, if you could only sense how important you are to the lives of those you meet, how important you can be to the people you may never even dream of, there is something of yourself that you leave at every meeting with another person. Every one of you, whether it's length of service or you're getting ready to retire, has been important and continues to be important to our students over many, many years. You have left something of yourself with each of the students with whom you've interacted. We are very grateful for all you have done to contribute to the success of our students. You are preparing to step into the next great adventure of your lives, retirement. As I speak with many retirees from the system, so many of them share the joy they have in what they choose to do in retirement. While some have said that retirement is having all the time in the world to do nothing, it seems that retirees who get the most out of retirement are those who discover the truth of another of Fred Rogers' sayings. Often, when you think you're at the end of something, you're actually just at the beginning of something else. May your retirement be just the beginning of something else. On behalf of the Board of Education, we wish you a very healthy, happy, and fulfilling retirement.